Man, I saw a comment online and I want to get your thoughts on it. People are saying that Jose Aldo, who by the way is now fighting as well on the card against Zahabi, they were saying that they feel like Aldo is one of those one of the most underused big name sort of legends on the UFC roster because of the matchups that he gets. Maybe UFC 315 is an example of that. You got a legend here who's still going. Do you feel like the UFC are using him appropriately, or is this just, hey, let's get a name value, put it up against some of the younger guys, get the rub off him while he's still around? Should he be used in a different way, a different capacity, maybe against other legends or bigger fights? Well, let's make the most of this while he's still around.
I don't understand how fighting Mario Bautista and Ayman Zahabi is a better call than Aldo fighting Patricio Pitbull and Dominic Cruz. Don't understand that one at all. I mean, I understand what the UFC's position might be, which is we want to kind of use him like a Jim Miller and see what we've got with some of these guys and whether they're coming or going. And, you know, in that sense, Aldo serves a helpful purpose for us. But as a fan, I don't have as much interest in that. As a fan, what do you have more interest in? And again, I like Ayman Zahabi too. I don't think he's a bad fighter by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. Hell, he might even win. But am I more interested in that than I am Aldo fighting Pitbull? I mean, I don't even know what the fuck we're doing here. And they're fighting in reasonably similar times, 314 versus 315. And now, of course, the Pitbull versus Yair Rodriguez fight is also awesome. Don't misunderstand me, but you understand what I'm pointing out. I just don't get it at all. I don't like if what is the sole determinant here, what the UFC wants, and in turning Aldo into a glorified Jim Miller. And again, there's nothing wrong with the Jim Miller thing, but Jim Miller never held a title. He was never like he's not in the conversation for the best ever. He was a very good lightweight who just wanted to be like a martial artist as long as possible. And I guess if Aldo wants to do that too, then far be it from us to take it away from him. But what I would say is make the argument to me that Aldo versus Pitbull, Patricio Freire, Aldo versus Dominic Cruz, that those are lesser interesting, smaller box office fights than Aldo versus Mario Bautista and Aldo versus Ayman Zahabi. I just don't think you can make that argument.
If I'm Jose Aldo, I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm like, coming back.
You know what he's doing? Saying back. Yes, dude. They're not like twist. I mean, they're probably putting pressure on him in some level, but like, say no. Just say no. How hard is that? If you don't want these fights, I mean, we keep like this is what I mean. Like we're like, oh, UFC's doing this, and yeah, they probably are. They're probably the ones in the driver's seat, like they are most of the time. But if you don't want those fights, dude, just say no. And he's not, and so here we are. I'm glad I'd rather he be fighting than not. I think Ayman Zahabi's a good fighter. I just see these obvious promotional layups that they're not going to. And it, like the rest of you, I'm like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing.